And we're live. Thank you very much for joining me. Listen, this is just a really quick stream. It's going to be about 15, 20 minutes long. It's Friday Night Pint has been delayed till tomorrow because of some personnel got some things to do, last minute things to do. So we haven't got the guys to come in. But I thought I'd just go live to discuss a few things. There's a couple of quick subjects before we get onto it tomorrow. Europa League draw got made today. We're going back to Freiburg. We'll talk about that. And obviously the contract offer. There's been an interview with David Moyes, and he's turned around and said that he's been offered the contract and it's him that's stalling. And I thought we'd just quickly discuss these with you guys in the chat tonight. Freiburg away. Weird times. I got to say that weird times that they're going to be kicking off at 9 o'clock, I think, over there, which is 8 o'clock here. But the home leg at 5:45. Now, we'll be discussing this a little bit tomorrow. They was asking people to buy their tickets before we knew who was playing and what time it was. 5:45 kickoff at the London Stadium on a weeknight is absolutely mind blowing for me. But we'll get into that tomorrow. But it will be Freiburg. Got to be confident with that one. We've already beaten them twice. I was a bit shocked when they come out. I didn't think we could get them again, but because we haven't, I think because they weren't seeded, it was fair game as far as I knew. A bit odd that I think you should, especially when you've played them in the group stages already. I think the last 16 to play them again. I think it should be at least be the quarterfinals till you can meet a team that you've already faced. Bearing in mind we can't meet anyone like Brighton or Liverpool. So yeah. But we've got to get onto this contract discussion, and I'd love to get your thoughts on it. Obviously, I've been on TalkSport and various platforms this week trying to explain what the problem is. David Moyes comes out and says that he's been offered the contract. He's been offered a contract. There is a contract on the table. He's delaying signing it. He wants to see what goes on now. I think pre-Christmas he came out and said, like, and of course, like, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure he said that once it gets to the right time, he'll be signing the contract and he wants to carry on his time here. Blah 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 blah. I've also heard today that there's stipulations in the contract, and the contract is only dependent on results from now until the end of the season. So, yeah. Who's telling the truth here? Is it in David Moyes' hands? You believe it's in David Moyes' hands? I don't think it is. I think it's David trying to save a bit of face here. I don't doubt that there had been a contract on the table, and I don't doubt that they've offered him one previously. I don't doubt that he may have been delaying to maybe for a better deal, maybe to see, what happens in terms of like players we lose or anything like that in the January transfer window. But I think the pressure's mounting on him. I think the pressure's mounting on him big time. I think that West Ham are taking sort of like the fact that at least at Nottingham Forest last weekend, that a majority of the stand turned on him. Which was, I wouldn't say it was shocking. I wouldn't say it was shocking to us. But, I think it shocked them a little bit, the fact that, the support was so vocal. I think it's David Moyes trying to save face here. I think he's trying to act, I've got to say this. He's been a bit arrogant in his assessments lately. He's been a little bit, which look, I understand. You're not going to turn around and turn around to the cameras or to the media and turn around and go, you know what? I know I'm not worth a rub. I know I can't deliver what what they expect. So I'll be leaving at the end of the season. But I do believe he's been a little bit arrogant in the fact that in the fact that, sorry, my food's just turned up. It's meant to be here an hour ago. In the fact that I don't believe that he believes that this sort of this criticism is justified, which is crazy, which is crazy. You know, like you have to look at it in a lot of ways, in ways that, you know, how can I improve? You know, how can I swing this? And I really don't think he thinks that he has to impress us at all. I just think he thinks he needs to win games and, you know, and play this sort of brand of football. Yeah, so that's my thoughts on it. Let's get some of your thoughts anyway, and see anything you guys want to say. You know, as I said, this is going to go on for about another 10 minutes, and then I'm you know, we're going to leave it all for tomorrow. I just wanted to get a quick live out there, seeing as like I didn't want to leave everyone high and dry on a Friday. But Mickey Collier, let's just get behind the team. Just hope we are full of capacity because we need that stadium full 100%. I just don't think it's feasible. I don't think it's feasible to leave it like this. I don't think it's feasible to leave it at a place where nobody knows really what's going on. I think it's more, let's to be honest. Look at the way Bayern Munich have approached things. You know, they've said that Tuchel will not be continuing with Bayern Munich. They've been trying to identify targets. Yeah, I don't think it's healthy. I don't think it's healthy for the team. I don't think it's healthy for the fans, and I think it's just going to end up becoming a negative, you know, overhanging shadow over the club over the next few weeks, because it's not, you know, it's just not. What's the word? It's not good to leave it like that. But there we go. Hammers Mikey says Moyes' days are numbered. His contract details will have stuff in it he does not like whatsoever. Probably regarding Tim and having good control of things. That's another thing that we have to think of when it comes to this. You know, Tim Stuyden, rumours are that he could be off. You know, and he wants to take sort of full control of you know, the shaping of the club, which I think a lot of us would would support. If the board do give him another contract, the fans need to leave the ground empty and hit their pockets. Moyes has been so arrogant in his recent interviews, like he's the saviour of the Cubs. That says Daniel School. Thank you very much, Daniel. Yeah, I agree. It's not great. It's not great at all. I just don't think it's helping anyone. I think he needs to, you know, no matter what he thinks personally, but you know, that media training should come in, and he needs to sort of like, you know, there's a word they you know, they call us customers. The customer's never wrong. Is you know, the customer's always right. Is the saying. And you know, if we're the customers, then you know, listen to what they're saying. Moyes is trying to control the room instead of reading it. Yeah, absolutely. I couldn't agree more. Could have been told to see out a contract to the end of the season because Sullivan won't pay him off. I don't think that would be. I don't know. It wouldn't be that expensive now. You know what I mean? More than likely is just, you know, they haven't got anyone lined up right now. Heineke, would you keep Moyes if he won the Europa League? That's a tough one. I think that's one for the end of the season. I feel he should have gone last season with the Conference League win. I think he should have gone out on a high. If he won the Europa League, I don't know. I don't know what happens there. You know, I'll be honest. My feelings are I've just had enough. Brian Peace has had to laugh at Darren Bent today. He was struggling to come up with a suitable club for Moyes. Listen, that's what I said. I said this on, I said this on a couple of streams I've done with other people. Who would pursue him? You know, what club that you know, would Brighton go out of their way to sign him? You know, would someone like Aston Villa go out of their way to sign him? No, they wouldn't. This is not a man you turn to for success. I mean, the success that he's had. I mean, listen, I'm not privy to it off the top of my head, but as far as I know, he hasn't won anything apart from the Conference League last year. Rory Thompson says Moyes is boring and lost it. Yeah. Talksport said he wasn't good enough for Brentford. Talksport said he wasn't good enough for Brentford, but they keep on asking us, what do we want? It's mad. It's fucking mad. I do think it's time for him to go, but I'm more worried about his replacement. I agree with you. And listen, I don't agree with a lot of the way people approach it. I think the man deserves some respect. I think he has done good work. But I do think that it's time to move on. In terms of playing style, I think we can get a lot more out of the current squad. I think the current squad needs a total overhaul, and from what I've seen from him from 4 years, you know, has he brought in anyone for the future? Like, what have we got in terms of like, young, inciting talent? We haven't got a lot that's been brought in by him. He clearly doesn't fancy playing any of the youth. He very reluctantly plays any of the youth players. We've got a load of oldish sort of established Premier League players that would do the dog work in the midfield up front. He doesn't like to play with any sort of flair. It's not good. It's not good. When you look at what Aston Villa were under Gerrard to what Emery's done in that short space of time, that's the sort of progress we want to see. That's and we was in a better position than Aston Villa were to attract someone like Emery to come in and to be given full reign and start to shape the future of the club. David, whatever way you look at it, David Moyes is not the future of the club. That is what I would say. Well done on TalkSport. Sterling looked like a smug prat. Listen, I said this the other day as well. Listen, they're paid to do a job. Their job is to wind us up, and they do a good job at it. So sometimes you just got to hit them with a few facts. They think they're going to, they think they're going to leave you speechless. It's bringing up things like, what do you want? Free flowing football and be bottom of the table, or boring football and be top of the table? I mean, what does free flowing football necessarily mean? You're going to slip down the table? I don't really understand. Club circus right now. I need sorting out because the football is terrible, says Mark Vaughan. Agree with that. Darren Bent, Newcastle wouldn't have Moyes due to his style of play. I'm sick and tired of this season of watching the same crap at home. It's always the same. This is laughable. Both sides now know what's going to happen. Let the backroom staff see us through to the end of the season. Surely can't be any worse. Do they know? Does anybody know? I don't know. I just can't see it being healthy for people not to know. My statement: I've had a good 4 years at the club. That says it all for me. Yeah, I think he's going to walk away. What happens if we're shut for the rest of the season but win Europa? Got to go anyway. I said that last season. I don't get it. Surely if he signed tomorrow and they wanted to sack him in a month, it's going to cost bundles. Makes no sense. That means I think that means they're not going to sack him. We have a shit run, but things will change. Hopefully Monday night. I'm down for Burnley, so I hope we get the win. He has to start turning it around now. He has to. It's clear to see he has lost the dressing room. The attacking forwards we have are playing AV defensive. I don't know what that means. Set up. So we set up. They will go. We can't defend in a defensive. I sort of get what you're saying there, mate. Yeah, that's true. Why set up defensive? You can't defend. I just can't see what a boy can't see lining up the same way each and every week and having 25, 30 possession isn't working. I mean, really, we get none. We get not one surprise lineup each and every game. Problems behind the scenes as well on the field. It seems that way. Evening to everybody. Thanks for joining us. A couple more minutes and then I'm out of here. I've got food on the table, and we will be back discussing this in full tomorrow night. I think he's trying to change the narrative. I think he didn't like the fact someone like Souness come out and agreed with us on it. He's trying to make it out it's up to him, but reality is it isn't. I've seen a couple now come out and sort of understand the narrative. We all know we ain't glory hunters as our fortunes always hiding, but it's a joke being called that from outsiders and pundits. Clueless We are grateful, but he ain't our saviour and had trophies before him. Some people suggesting that he's our greatest manager ever, which is, I think, is laughable, to be honest with you. He's one of them. Don't get me wrong, for the fact that he's won a trophy, but he's not our greatest manager ever, that's for sure. Evening, everyone. The situation doesn't help the full performances on the pitch. I'm going to take a couple of more comments and I'm going to shoot and get ready for tomorrow. Simon Jordan is another hypocrite talking about the old Crystal Palace manager, Peter Taylor. He said the style of play wasn't great and the fans weren't having it, so he had to go. Yet, he turns around and says, well, we should sit down and shut up. And Gary Allison says, right, got to get this off my chest, but who else is sick of every Tom, Dick and Harry saying, us fans, be careful what you wish for. Why can't we also Moyes saying he has a new 2-year contract in front of him? Yeah, it's crazy. Right, this is the last one. Talksport are obsessed with West Ham, Goldstein, Bent, and Foster chatting absolute bollocks. Why is every pundit saying, be careful what you wish for? As soon as there's anyone, I don't really understand that. Be careful what you wish for. We're not going to wish for shit, are we? You know what I mean? We want progress. So what am I being careful what I wish for if I want to progress into a different side? But there we go. That was my quick shot for the Friday night. As I said, Friday Night Pint will be back in full tomorrow. Me and Scott will be back here 8 o'clock, maybe Dan as well, tomorrow night for the full discussions. Get your questions ready. We're going to take them. Might have another couple of phone-ins as well. So you guys, thank you very much for joining us. Sorry there isn't a full one tonight, and I'm sorry if you was expecting more. But that is the quick one for tonight. As I said, some of the guys have been called away unexpectedly, but we will be back tomorrow night, 8 o'clock for Saturday Night Pint. But we're going to be building up towards Brentford. Go and check out our T-shirts and our merchandise and stuff like that. Yeah, that's it really. But thank you very much. One thing left to say, come on your ones.